Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome. I'm David. This is the beautiful downtown Cancun, Mexico studios of Warriors of Light Astro-Tarot. Yeah, in my neighborhood, mi casa. And this is our reading I already have laid out for you. I was going to do all heart spreads this week, but I just kind of, and I just heard like them. So, because this reading is still 8 cards, but it more focuses on you than the other person. But then it looks to me like, I just kind of look over quickly. It looks to me like you have another person coming, a Taurus. But, so Geminis, the interesting thing for you as I do this reading, Saturn's at 24 Aquarius, and Mars is at 24 Aries. That's a sextile. Now, what's that to you? Well, Mars is right now a sextile to exactly any of your energy at 24, Sun, for instance. Or also with Saturn there, it's a trine to any of your energy at 24. And you could say 22 to 26 Gemini. This is a really important energy because the sextile to Mars especially is sextiles of learning, or it's something that can be taken advantage of. It's the energy of that's easily translated into something we could maybe, and it's that kind of thing that once we kind of turn our mind to it and turn our attention to it, we find that it's, actually it comes easily, even though maybe we might have thought, well, it's going to be hard. And we actually take the class or actually go for it, whatever it is, we find, especially when you have this sextile energy backing you up. So point is, if you're in that energy, then it's going to be a part of the whole Saturn retrograde cycle this year. And, well, like a theme. But this is really good because the sextile for you guys to Mars and Aries, that's action. So whatever action you need to be taken in 5 of 1, just want to say, is that not Mars and Aries? And then speaking of Mars and Aries, we got Queen of Wands, so under the 5 of Wands. So this is a time, sometimes you need to fight, just saying. Sometimes you need to assert yourself really strongly. You need to overcome. You need that warrior energy to your sun in Gemini. And when you have Mars there in sextile, it's a lot of energy for your sun to just swell up, and it looks like it kind of what's been going on. In this reading, this becomes the past position. Kind of describes where you've been at. But it looks like you become a Queen of Wands. And this is saying, Gemini, that you probably fought in the beginning, and now it's really not necessary. You're at some place in your life where it's not necessary. That's kind of representing. But right now, you look at this 10 of Wands. He's leaning right into this 5 of Wands. It's you're right now, like as you're watching this, maybe watching this, I hope is part of this process. That would make me happy. I always ask Spirit, name of light and love, so it serves the greatest good. Give us as much as you can to help, in any way, more than just describe the situation. And energetically, we got 5, we got 10. I see you're dumping if you do this energy move, maybe where you kind of swipe your body with your fingers like a brush, like swipe the energy away, swipe it away. Like this kind of the energy I'm getting with this, like you're doing energy work with fire. Very well represents energy work too, if you're an energy worker, and it's kind of getting rid of that energy and wanting to like assume your full power. And now the unconscious position, the star, this is powerful. This is like tapping into some your hopes and dreams and wishes, some part of the zeitgeist, a collective unconscious, And this is coming under the Ten of Wands, and next to this Queen of Wands, and then let's look at what's coming. We'll get to that. I mean, this is really kind of one of the most dynamic and amazing readings I've seen in a while. Very Gemini, very busy. I mean, I'm only scratching the surface, you know. I mean, you yourselves, in your sign now, you've got Venus and Mercury, which to me, that's all like about values. And so, like, there's something you value that you can fight for, win, upgrade, something having to do with Saturnine issues of responsibility, building the long haul, looking ahead, you know, being committed to something and all of that, and, you know, doing that responsible thing that's Saturnine. So, but it's like this is getting you to a place right now of you're manifesting what it is that you're wanting, and it's this Queen of Wands energy. It's like I to make a joke, it's like, maybe, or what are you trying to manifest? You because that would be kind of a cool choice. Well, I want to manifest being a badass bitch and a woman. I'd love to be a badass bitch. You know, sometimes you just gotta be a badass bitch. And there, I don't know, there's a certain calm. You look at the little puppy here looking up at the Queen of Wands here. So there's a certain calm. It's like this person, if this is you, your anima here, that this is referring to, you know, it doesn't have to do anything. They just kind of maybe give a look or give a vibe even, and people just sort of respect it. Like, you know, don't mess with that person. You know, it just gives that vibe. And I think it's vibing very high with the star too. I mean, of course, that emphasizes Aquarius, so it could emphasize that Saturn that's in Aquarius I was talking about. I mean, you know, when you have Saturn in a trine or a sextile, in my opinion, astrologer, it's exact. It behooves you, if you want to pay any attention to astrology, all of us, to just kind of take a look at that and see if there's relates to anything in our life, because it can be a really good thing. It can be a time when something that's normally Saturn's difficult stuff, you know, something, a lot of Saturn's a lot of stuff you don't want to deal with, you know. So maybe, you know, it just becomes a time which is a little bit easier to deal with some of this really hard stuff to deal with. And this is in the position, both of these cards, the advice from Spirit in this reading. So this is, I always say, I don't necessarily trust myself, Geminis, and I never trust the fucking government, honestly, but I always trust Spirit. And you've got the Three of Cups and the Three of Wands, Gemini. I always consider the Three of Cups a Gemini card. I don't know, I always do. It's something about the way they're dancing up here. And, you know, it rightly is, in that it's about having fun, and parts. Also a Libra card, which is also, you know, a sister sign of you, Gemini. But it's good, harmonious energy. It's kind of Venus energy. You've got Venus there now. This would be a natural time for you, particularly, boy, when Venus hits the sun, you know, that happens, you know. You've got making hay. You got Mercury there too, which you love. I mean, again, Mercury hits the sun. I mean, this is in coming with the Three of Cups and the Three of Wands. It's I see a single person here. I do. So I should have said that at the beginning. I don't know if you're not single. Are you? What's going on? Maybe you won't be. Maybe you will be single soon. Because, you know, this is not about this Three of Cups here. I don't think it's about a third party at all. It's all about emotionally opening up. Look at all this, man. It's a drag. Five of Wands is dangerous. It's and yeah, high. You know, congrats on high vibing your way out of there and just being stronger than everything. I think it's kind of what that's saying with this Queen of Wands, being master of everything. But, you know, it's saying now just it's time to really cut loose and emotionally unwind. I mean, this could even, you know, it's a happy card and everything, but to me, there's a line of thought. Work with me on Mercury and Sag. So, This could even be crying and feeling your sad emotions here, because it's also with this Ten of Wands and everything you're dumping and the Star card. It could be like crossing the finish line of a 26-mile marathon and passing out on the line, and but at the same time you win, you know. And so there could be like a release, and also with the Three of Cups and the Three of Wands, release is a big theme. So I would be, if Spirit would be saying here with advice, it's yeah, release. It's you made it. Like you won, you made it. That's what this is saying, guys. I should say congratulations. In the Three of Wands is not exactly looking for love, like that. But it's like the Three of Cups is not about third party, and it's about this three strong energy. It's also very Gemini third house. So but it's also energetic, and it's a lot better than the Five here Wands, or just five. You know. So now you're combining the emotions here with the fire and the actions. And then I like the way your Ten of Wands and all of this. I did look at the bottom of the deck for advice. We have the Knight, Knight of Wands. Why am I not surprised with the volcano behind him? Volcano, right? So you kind of get the picture. Um, so to come to this Three of Wands, he's kind of calm, got his cloak there, got his bag, and he's definitely looking for his ship to come back, But he could just easily be seeing that ship off too, He might. This is him saying goodbye, and they're getting ready to pull anchor and take a load, and he's thinking about, well, it's going to be 6 months before they get back here. Baby needs new shoes, kind of thinking. But this is in the advice from Spirit. It's don't be afraid to go out and look, actively seek what it is that gives you joy. So 1, 2, 3, 1 cup, 1 1 cup, 1 cup, 1. It's like, really the things that give you joy are the cups in life, right? The water, the emotions, the cups. And the Three of Wands is about going out and getting it. And now I was talking about Mars to Saturn. Well, Mars to your Sun is, how the will and how we take action. Mars in Aries in the perfect place to do so. And so the Sun in Gemini is like, here I am. What is it that I want? What am I? What do I want to do with my time here? The Sun is that, kind of takes everything into context for us. And maybe this has to do with what it is you're looking for. It does seem like love. I could say could be work, could be a rejuvenation. This could be all like one big spiritual read process, with you being the Empress here, Taurus emphasized in your chart. We got the nodal actions going, and Uranus taking its time, doing its thing, whatever that is in your chart. But now as the outcome, you have the Knight of Cups over the Empress. And you remember I said the Knight of Cups, he's moving off into the reading, right? Into the future. This is the future. And we also have this Knight of Wands, the overall energy, Maybe this was who you were fighting with. Maybe this Five of Wands and the Queen. And maybe this energy of the Knight of Wands is what you were dumping or are dumping, which could also be cutting cords, like officially. But now we have this Knight of Cups. I think, guys, that this here's you. This is kind of saying you're going to manifest what it is gives you joy. Gemini, it's kind of like, I think Three of Cups is you. It's like, go back to that Sun and the Mars, get something. What is it that makes you feel like mostly yourself? What is it is mostly important to you? Venus is there. Your values is there. It's your values. What's important to you, Work, friends, studying, relaxing, sex, uh, reading books. I mean, uh, these kind of things. But what I get is you're going to take this with the Knight of Cups now, and you're going to like basically go on a quest for love here. And I think what you're going to find is a little bit of an unusual reading, but it's like manifestation. You freed yourself so that you can manifest, because all of what I'm describing, Gemini, is fun. What you're going to do is you're just going to relax and have a good time with friends, do whatever the fuck you want. But at the same time, you're going to be opening yourself up to love. And I've said before, can be such a subtle thing. You're just having a drink with your friends, and a person that you're in might be interested in happens to glance at you, and you quickly glance away when you're really not ready for a relationship. Because you're telling yourself, no, I'm not going to go there. But now, when you're open, that's what this is. This Three of Cups and the Three of Wands is you now opening, Gemini. Um, Now you maintain that gaze. Somebody looks at you, you look right at them for like 4 or 5, and the next thing you know, somebody's over there talking to somebody. So it could be, and even that can be just unconscious. I mean, you don't even realize you're doing it. That's going to be the difference, just in the energy. So I mean, it's more than just metaphysical. It's just like, but that is a kind of electrochemical, sublingual kind of communication that goes on among humans too. So with the Empress, I think this represents this Taurus energy coming into you. And what I get out of this energy is like here's where you're manifesting, because you may be kind of moving towards this Taurus here, Gemini, but they're like exactly what you need, and they are like the perfect match for your Queen of Wands. That's what's going on here. You are this Queen of Wands now, Gemini, and your match is going to be this Empress. So it's going to be a man or woman. It'll be someone that's secure, that's kind of reliable. It's Taurus energy. Taurus energy, they're going to be there tomorrow and the next day and the next, and count on that. you know, Chances are everyone changes, but yeah, they're it's least likely to change dramatically. And so I get the feeling like, Gemini, this is kind of maybe what you might want to be manifesting. And it's someone that just feels it meets your mature part of yourself, that's passionate and sort of confident and outspoken. But this she, I gotta say, it's a she energy, of divine feminine energy, man or woman. She will meet you, Gemini, in a soft way, loving way. Um, it'll be like you'll be bringing the masculine energy, male, female, if you get me. So thank you guys. That was a crazy, interesting read. I enjoyed it, and let me know what you think. Do always appreciate any comments that you make. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.